Hey guys, Gold Minecraft here, bringing you another Minecraft video in a Minecraft survival world. If you're confused why I'm in a cave, it's because this is going to be part 2 of our mining adventure. And basically, you didn't miss much last episode. I just died a bunch as I was clearing out these monsters, which inevitably will probably happen again, but I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to start with these zombies and skeletons and slowly get rid of them. Because the goal is to go ahead and get things kind of cleared out in the cave-wise. And then we're going to go ahead and gather up a bunch of iron and copper and coal. So that way I can stop using copper tools. In videos anyways, I'll still use them outside episode. But at least in the video, I'll use iron for you guys. To appease the masses. Okay, while we're going ahead and battling these monsters and clearing it out. And I'm trying not to die. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some real life stuff. So first of all, I have a story to tell you guys. In the meantime, while the stuff happened in the background. So the other day I went on an adventure and went over to my grandma's house and went swimming for a bit because she has a pool in her trailer park. So went out there and swam for a bit. That was really fun. But she left the car running with the key in ignition, so she ran out of gas. And we had to go bring the gas can to her. And on the way to get her gas, the freaking gas can tipped and spilt gasoline all over the car. Back to the car. The car is finally kind of not stinky, but still kind of smells like gasoline. And there was unfortunately a sweatshirt and a blanket back there, and it's stinky. I have literally washed this sweatshirt 3 or 4 times, and it still smells like gasoline. Given this time it doesn't actually smell that bad now. It's not like, ooh, gasoline smells like, ooh, it smells kind of weird. But now it's in the process of being rewashed and cleaned. And it's like, moral of the story, make sure your gas tank is actually closed in a secure place. Because obviously gasoline's flammable, and you don't really want it to spill around the car. Especially anybody who's a smoker in the car that rides or drives. Flammable liquid. It's not great to have spilled around, but second of all, it's also just really stinky and hard to get rid of. And it smells real bad. Like, it stunk up the car, it stunk up the house, we washed the blankets, it was stinky. So the grand moral of the story is make sure your gas tank can actually keep the gas in it. Because otherwise, you will have a very stinky thing. Also, another thing I want to talk about, the last few days have been particularly challenging to get comfortable at night, especially because it's been so hot and humid in the house. I live in Michigan, and we're having next couple days, we're having 90-degree weather, and so we're having a heat wave, and it's 63 degree, like 63% humidity. Like, no matter how much you shower, no matter what you do, you feel sticky. We finally went ahead and put the AC in because we want a good night's sleep. Even though we gotta be careful, if you ever have an AC on during the day, do your research, because some companies between like 2 and 7 or something, we'll call them prime hours or whatever, or peak hours, and they will charge you more for that electricity used within that time. Isn't that nuts? It's like, because you can charge more money doesn't mean you should. Jeez Louise. I tell you, this world and how expensive it's becoming is beginning to be ridiculous. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys about that. On the bright side, though, I'm going to go ahead and get my squash and melons planted up in the next few days. And they're going to love this weather, because they love hot soil to germinate. And oh boy, is it hot out there. It says, the weather app, I just looked at it, for the humidity, it feels like 100 degrees. Oh, my Lord have mercy on my soul. It's like, that is some hot weather, I tell you. But it's interesting because last year I threw a bunch of old squashies I had out back, and none of them really germinated except for a couple of them. But this year I keep going back there in that same spot where I threw those seeds, and so far I have like 4 different plants that are volunteers from there. Do I know what kind of pumpkins or melons are? No, because I mixed up all the seeds, so I have no idea if they're decorative gourd, pumpkin, squash, or melon. I'm kind of just like, oh, you do you grow, and I'm fine with that. And yeah, so every time I go back there, I keep finding like new little sprouts happening, which is very exciting and very nice. Also, I found out that I have a raccoon in the yard because my neighbor's been battling a raccoon the last few days, and it just clicked in my mind. Also, a few days ago, I had something digging my pot of onions. I was very confused. I thought the dog got into it or something, but no, apparently it was Mr. Raccoon because he's been digging up in his stuff and her stuff too. So it's like, wow, that's crazy. A raccoon around here. There's definitely some hawks flying around. It's kind of a lot of nature. If you look for it, there's a lot of nature. Even though the stupid city has gone ahead and expanded the freaking factory, so a little industrial park at the end of my street was cut up, and now it's just a big old parking lot. So that's great. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah. But speaking of the weather, yesterday was quite interesting because Michigan's very moody when it comes to rain with us. It's like if we get it, it rolls in some gray clouds. It might sprinkle for 5-10 minutes and get a little sprinkle dinkle here and there, but that's about it. And yesterday it wasn't even doing that. But there was lightning in the clouds, and I couldn't hear it. There was no thunder or anything. But I kept seeing flashes in the sky. I'm like, ooh, the storm is here, I waited on that, didn't hear it. Not a single thing. And they say it's supposed to get bad tonight, and I'm sitting here looking out the window. It's like, yeah, some clouds rolled in, but there's no storm blowing in. Like, come on. We need it super bad because our yard is, super dry. And so the environment really does need it. But, Michigan's being temperamental and being like, you want rain? Okay. Nah, just kidding. Oh, maybe. Nope. Maybe. Haha. Also, another thing I had happen last night, that was fascinating, is that I was sitting there watching TV, and I see this shadow fly past my TV, and a plunk. And I'm like, what in the world was that? It didn't sound like a bug, I thought it was a big moth or something, but I was curious because I never heard that thick of a plunk before. And I turn the light on and I go look at it, and it's a freaking tree frog in my house. I'm like, how the heck did a tree frog get in the house? I don't know if it came from the sump pump area or through the cat door or what, but I want to get out of the house because I know the cats will kill him. So I caught him in a cup because if you don't know, amphibians breathe through their skin. So human, the oils in our hands and stuff, especially if you're sweaty like I was last night, is really bad for their skin. So you don't really want to touch them without having washed your hands in some nice water. No, you can't use soap or anything, but gotta use some. Gotta wash your hands or have a glove on. Or in my case, I just used the cup, and I scooped him up, and he was cute. He was a green tree frog, which I didn't know our native tree frogs that are gray here in Michigan can turn green depending on the weather. So that's fascinating. But anywho, he was green with black eyeballs, and he was cute and jumpy because it was 3 in the morning when I found him. And my cats, I turned the lights on, the cats found him, were eyeballing him, and I was like, no, don't do it. So I scooped him up quickly and brought him outside to save him because I didn't want him to be eaten by the cats. And that was a really fun surprise. I'm used to having bugs, moths fly into the door, or stink bugs or something else coming through, but never seen a tree frog. So that was fascinating. And of course, the ants are invading my house still. That's just because I keep forgetting to buy ant traps at the store, so I keep having ants on my kitchen counter, which is not great. But it's a life. It's part of life. It's part of nature. So, is what it is. Then another fascinating piece of nature that I found is I found a spine of something in my yard. There's some bones hanging out in the corner of my yard. So I don't know how I feel about that situation. I don't know what creature it was, but I'm just like, oh, those are some pretty pit clean bones. That's lovely. So, but bones are interesting. See how the inside of the animal works. For scientific sake, not like serial killer, I'm gonna chop you up to study you type of deal. It's only for scientific study, not serial killer vibes. Anyways, I'm gonna move on from that and talking more about my sleep schedule because yesterday actually I did post a video because I had a super busy day. I picked up a shift at one job for 7 in the morning, and then I came home at 2, then I'm off to work again at 6, and I only really had time to take a nap. And that made my sleep schedule really, really wonky. Like, so I went to bed fairly early. The dog was not helping me because the dog was very confused. She kept like sitting there staring at me, up to the edge of my bed, jumping on it, like wanting to come out in the living room and sit up more, because you don't go to bed too late. So she was like, why are you going to bed so early, Dad? You're not supposed to. And I was like, I have to, girl. And then I woke up at 4, then I kept waking up every hour or so, until I had to get up, and it was like, oh yeah, it wasn't that bad overall, but I'm definitely glad I got the 2 days off to recover from that, because boy, that was intense. Normally I don't double shift myself like that, but with my other main job that I do during the fall/winter, during the school year, I'm going to put a good foot into there and make them happy. So I came in for them, and although I was tempted to call in for my summer job, with knowing how short-staffed they are, my moral compass, after working retail for 6+ years, absolutely said, no, don't do that. A, money, but B, more important, B, you can't do that to them. Because I'm a closer shift. If it was like a morning shift or like a mid shift, but the fact of the matter that it was a closing shift, I couldn't leave them hanging in the air, especially that late in the day. It's like, ugh, I just couldn't. My moral compass said, no. Go and suffer. Go be adult. And I'm like, ugh. It's only for our shifts, so it's not that bad. And I did end up having to stay late because I had to watch them get money because they had money out of the safe and they wanted another person there just in case something happened. So I was like, fine, I guess. I mean, I can't really say no to my boss, so I'm like, okay, I will stay. Do I want to? No, I wanted to go to bed because, I've been up since 7 in the morning besides an hour and a half nap, which did help me lots, but also it's like I'm going to go home and do stuff. I was also excited to have the next couple of days off because, as I said, I got a lot of cleaning to do. I got a lot of plant stuff to do. So there's a lot of things to do. And I kind of want to get them done, especially the plant stuff. House cleaning, everyone get done too, which kind of works out. Because with this heat wave, I'm kind of working on house stuff during the day. Like, early mornings, I get up in the morning and go play. But as soon as it starts heating up, I go inside until the sun starts going down. And while I'm inside, I work on cleaning, doing dishes, sweeping, and doing whatever cleaning projects need to get done. Then I reward myself in the evening time with getting things done. It also allows me to go ahead and get things kind of like certain seeds need to be pre-soaked in order to be planted up to help with germination and things like that. It also makes it so I don't die from melting in the heat. Because no one wants to die like that. I mean, you're not going to actually die, but heat stroke is a thing, so I'm cautious about it always. Alright, so that kind of wraps up my life updates as far as like the garden goes and my professional life and my job market and whatnot. It's been a little bit crazy one, but that's kind of wraps it up. And as far as the house goes and the game in Minecraft goes, the game plan is to go ahead. I can't remember if I said this already or not, but go ahead in the next couple episodes and remove all the ores from these caves, gather all those beautiful supplies and bring them back to base. And so that way I got plenty of iron to go ahead and use during videos and for other projects. Next episode that we are not mining and gathering supplies up, and we probably have a building episode, and it's going to be working on probably the second story of my house. And then that's pretty much it. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap up the video here. So thank you all for watching and for all the love and support you made, guys. Yeah, I can't speak. Alright, and with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. So thank you all for the love and support and watching my videos. And don't you forget to subscribe for even more awesome videos. Leave a like so I know you like them. And leave me a comment so we can talk. And share this with your friends and family. And also hit that bell to notify you of brand new spanking videos each and every single day, almost. And above all else, make sure you have an absolutely amazing golden day. Goodbye. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and all that stuff. Bye.